Assalamu alaikum, my name is Salim Siddiqui and you're watching a hot conflict video series on the subject of the great Muslim celebration, or the great Eid, the Eid al-Akbar or Adha, the Eid of the Sacrifice. And myself and Muslims all around the world gathered today with our families and went to a place to go pray together and bow our heads and worship to the Lord Most High. And Muslims with their families and all of their people did that all over the world, all bowing, praying, facing towards the Kaaba, the holy house in Mecca in the Arabian Peninsula, that is built by Abraham and his son Ishmael in the olden days to remember the worship of the Lord Most High, the one true God. And so we're talking about the importance of this issue, and we're explaining it like we say on the hotconflict.com website, that we always tell you things in a way that you haven't heard of it before and in a style that is probably different to you. And it's at this point that I've got to actually make a caveat once again that I'm going to start talking about some really strange material, and obviously it is at this point in history where things are about to dramatically get different. And so a lot of differences of opinions and concepts and conflict start to happen, and groups start to argue, and of course religion is the thing that people argue about the most, and who's right and who's wrong, and we're the chosen people and you're the chosen people. And so I want to stick to some simple basics, and that is, you're hearing for the first time probably something that you've never heard before. I'm telling you this story in a way that you have never heard before, and so I want to continue to make sure that everybody understands that we want to continue to use the same terminology and concepts that we've done from the beginning of the story, so that the confusion and the politics and the bickering is left out of it. So what is the fundamental? Well, the fundamental, as we said, is that there's only one God. In Arabic, we say, La ilaha illallah. Well, we said there are more fundamentals, and that when a person who is a Muslim says the term Muslim, I'm a Muslim, they mean they are people who understood the truth that has been revealed from the Lord Most High to all the prophets, and that Islam is the faith of those who submit to the truth of the light that all of the prophets have revealed. Because we said that there is some basic fundamentals, that there is a God, Most High, hallowed and gloried be He, greater than anything that we can imagine. He is the one who created the universe and everything that is in it. He is the creator. He is the one who makes life and takes life, and gives life and takes life. And we've told the story and said that there are always these fundamentals, and that each of the bearers of the truth revealed the same thing to their people, that there is only one God. And so the fundamentals continue, that God, the Most High, created a creation called angels, made of the light, some with wings of different numbers, and they are good in their nature, in that they obey the commandments of the Lord and do not disobey. They do not have free will. And God created other races known as the jinn in Arabic, which we term as the unseen, or interdimensional beings that are not visible to us in this dimension that we are in, but they are on the earth around us and in the skies and galaxies of the universe. God only knows where exactly. And so we told you the story gets strange and weird. But we said that Satan, in the beginning of the story, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go back and listen to the story from the beginning, because you're hearing a story, and it's important that you understand what this means. That mankind, from the very first day that Adam was created, he tried to tell his people and the descendants of Adam that there is a war going on between the darkness and the light. The true description of the Lord, as we said, the only way we can truly describe him is the light, and that Adam was breathed of the light and brought to life with a soul, and that as the fundamentals go, there are angels and jinns and prophets with books of the revelation of the Word, and that you, as all sons of Adam, live and die, as is the will of the Lord Most High, and you will be raised by the Lord and judged by the Lord on your faith and your actions or your deeds. And there is punishment and reward that is everlasting for your soul to go on for all eternity. And all of this in the final fundamental is by the plan and decree and order, or Qadr, of the Lord Most High. Everything that is happening within the universe is by the plan of the Lord Most High. He is the creator of all that is created. And so we went through the chain of the stories, and we got to the point where we saw in the world certain fundamentals. I'm going to start just telling it to you, and I'm going to start giving it to you, and it's going to sound strange and crazy. If you've been listening to the story of the truth and you're ready to hear the light, you are about to hear more magical and mystical things that will explain all of the answers. If any of this story has seemed so unbelievable to you, so ridiculously incredible that it is so unbelievable, then the next part must get even more incredible than where we have been before. As the truth is always more stranger than any fiction anyone has ever told you. And by God, I believe, and we shall soon see, that I don't think anyone has ever spoken these words in the way that I'm speaking them, in this language that we call English. And I'm going to say, as I always say, and make some caveats, that I will talk about strange and weird things. Things that people will think are so ludicrous that I will be looked at by many as a heretic or a radical, even amongst those who use the term Muslim. But as I said, don't get confused in the politics of our day. Just listen to the story. And so because I'm going to have to tell the truth, and all those who tell the truth, when they have to tell it, they have to admit some very hard realities. So I have to always say it, and I'm saying it again. You're watching HotConflict.com, and my name is Salim Siddiqui. I am the son of a man named Shamshad Ali Siddiqui. And so excuse me for getting emotional, because once you understand the story, you know what this means. And I am going to tell you even parts of the story of myself, but not right now. And I'm going to give you another surprise, that if the story I'm telling is true, and if the light and the truth are the same thing, then by the time you get to the end of the story, you must know the reality of the world that you are living in, and you must be able to understand the mysteries of all the mysteries, and you must be able to answer the questions of all the questions. You must be able to understand your own soul. And by God, you're going to hear the story of the truth. Now that I've given the caveat, I've got to get serious, because here we go, and it's about to get wild. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, call yourself a Muslim or Jew or a Christian or any other name, listen to the story and pay attention. Because at the end of the day, anybody who knows the story of the truth of the light knows that whatever title you want to call yourself, it really doesn't matter. The light is the light, and that's all that counts. So listen to the story, because here we are. If we remember where we were in the last part of the story, we said that the earth has gotten to a strange and dark place where the children of Israel who are holding the light and bearing the truth are all disorganized and disunited. Jesus, son of Mary, has come bearing the truth of the light, and some have accepted and some have rejected. Nowhere on the earth are people worshiping the Lord correctly.